The noises. Just...
The latch and everything is kind of mangled. Doesn't want to release.
Yeah, the tub is damaged.
So...
He just has his hand in there.
There we go.
Yeah, just in time. We just got it open after 20 minutes.
Oh, it's open? Wow.
Ooh. R.I.P. R.I.P. Senna.
Yeah. Dang, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Today we've got some really good updates on the Senna. We're actually going to tell you exactly what happened so you know exactly who was at fault, kind of what the sequence of events were, because we didn't do a great job explaining it in the last video. We're going to go over 3 different options that we can do with the Senna, and at the end of the day I do want to keep it if at all possible. So we've got some really cool, fantastic freaking options. We're going to go over the actual cost that it's going to be to repair this. We actually just had one of the body shops leave us now, so we're going to understand just what it's going to cost to fix this, and we'll show that to you guys. And then we're going to reveal a little surprise that we did to try to make everything right in the world with what happened. While we've got you, be sure to freaking hit that subscribe button right now if you want to see the series of events as we go to hopefully rebuild this thing along the way. It's going to be a blast, and we might do some wacky stuff with it. Hit that subscribe button.
If I were you, I'd freaking hit it.
Then quit it. So far, these are the 3 options that we have come up with. Now, the first one would be that the insurance company just won't sell this back to me, or they send it to auction and it goes for a stupid high price. And of course, that's not going to make sense, even though I think this is one of the most tasteful specs out there, because a lot of the McLaren specs are just booty. Now, that said, if they do give me a check, it will be basically fair market value. So I could go out and find one, but I genuinely think it's going to be hard to find one this bad. That'll be my goal. Maybe I'll end up buying a Veyron, but ultimately, I would really love to keep a Senna in the collection. What are the other 2 options, Tommy?
So the next 2 options are, 1, the car isn't totaled by some means and the local body shop fixes it that is certified by McLaren to work on these, or we buy the car back from insurance with the insurance money and we rebuild it locally. I've already been sourcing some parts from McLaren and outside of McLaren that we could do the front fender, the door, and the rear fender if all of that needs to be replaced. I think the front fender is repairable, but rear fender and the door obviously I think going to be need to be replaced totally.
And I don't think we know fully how insurance, I think when insurance does a rebuild, they have to use new or OEM parts. So by doing it myself, I can go buy used parts. I can have them repair the tub if they say that it's going to be safe, or insurance will require us to replace the tub. Again, if we do rebuild it, we can probably do it a lot cheaper than if the insurance wanted it done with OEM parts.
Probably faster too, faster and cheaper, which is how Steve likes it.
That is how I like it, fast and cheap. And the third option is the most fun.
Yes, this one is what I want to do. I want to buy the car off of insurance with the check, send it to Lanzante. I want to do a full Senna GTR build. I want to do inverse color scheme, paint the whole thing Napier green with onyx black accents, and chop the top off and do the first Senna convertible in the world. That's a GTR, it's street legal.
So high downforce convertible, inverted color because it's reborn.
It's reborn, exactly. Yes. It's a phoenix that has been reborn from the ashes.
What do you think that will cost? Give me a range.
I have no idea. Yes. I think the least, there's no way it's under $1 million. I was going to say $900,000.
Oh God.
It's going to be $1 million. So hopefully you can buy it off insurance for $300-400 grand. We'll send it overseas. It'll take 1.5 to 2 years. They have to R&D the roofless option because it's never happened before. But they've done it with the P1, so it's possible.
They did. That looked amazing.
It looks phenomenal. So massive wing, crazy front arrow, no top. The roof air intake is right there, screaming at you. It would be so cool. And I feel like that for our channel, the wide body. I don't know if you heard that, but glass just fell off the car. For the Hamilton collection, that would kind of be like Stradman's wide body Pink Aventador. This would be like the Hamilton collections. It's one of one. It's done the right way. I think that's the best way to get the most money out of the car long term. It's by far the most expensive option, by far the most badass option.
Yes, most long
time. It would probably take over 2 years, is my guess. I'm waiting to hear back from Lanzante if they'd even accept the car. They may just say no altogether, but I'm hoping that that's an option if we are able to get the car back from insurance.
Awesome, badass. Those are your 3 options, folks. We are going to walk to the scene of the accident. It is right there where my Senna met its faithful demise. Dangerous intersection. All right, so we're gonna give you the actual story of what actually happened. Now, there's been some articles published that were just plain wrong, and most of what everyone else is saying is just plain wrong. So here's actually what did happen. First of all, it wasn't Tommy, Aidan, Natalia, or myself, but he was pulling out of right there where that car just pulled out of there. Well, okay, so here he was, McLaren Senna, pulling out of that street right there. Now, what he didn't do was take a look at the oncoming traffic. If you look over there now, there's oncoming traffic. the gentleman in the car decided to just pull out. So let's pretend like he just pulled out right now. Boom! Spun around, got hit, and ended up right here. Technically, my insurance is gonna have to cover it. It is our fault. And there you have the truth, folks. I'm just hoping my insurance covers it. Now, the woman was driving a 2007 Pontiac G6, and unfortunately, I just know for a fact my insurance is not gonna give her the check that she deserves. So stay tuned for a sec on how we're gonna make this right. The part of the story that we didn't tell you is that she drove a 2007 Pontiac G6. Now, that car totaled is not gonna get her really any money from the insurance, and that's a problem to me. I don't want her to struggle to be able to find a car. So we're basically buying her a brand new 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe, and we're gonna make sure she's taken care of. That's it.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. Weather's fascinating. Hi, Katie.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too, young lady.
And I'll see you in my office after you're done signing.
Sounds good, brother.
Is she on the way?
No, we're gonna drop it off.
Okay, cool. So I'll give you all the paper to drop off, but there actually you can just follow me.
All right.
So all I need from you is basically just
Check.
That's
Sweet. Oh my god. Just gonna sign this. There you go. All right, that's it. A few things that I wanted to make sure that it had was leather interior. That's a big deal. Didn't know it had remote start. That's a plus. It does have the nice dash, and then it has all-wheel drive. We need that for Chicago,
That is
right?
correct, right.
It smells very new. Who would have thought? Thank you again.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Just dropped off the car and she was so happy and pleased. Like, I don't do well. There were tears, there was hugging. I don't do well with that stuff at all. I don't know how to handle it, but needless to say, she was extremely appreciative, and that's literally what makes it all worthwhile. She has a much better car that will last her a really long time. Thanks again to everybody over at Hyundai. Great team of people at Elgin Hyundai. Highly recommended. And yeah, it was emotional, but a good time.